Yesterday, upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away. When I came home last night at 3, the man was waiting there for me. But when I looked around the hall, I couldn't see him there at all. Go away. Go away, don't you come back anymore. Go away. Go away, please don't slam the door. Last night, I saw upon the stair a little man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away.
Was long minister of the moorland parish of Bolwary in the Vale of Dew, a severe, bleak-faced old man, dreadful to his hearers. He dwelt in the last years of his life, without relative or servant or any human company, in the small and lonely manse under the hanging shaw. In spite of the iron composure of his features, his eye was wild, scared, and uncertain. And when he dwelt in private admonitions of the future of the impenitent, it seemed as if his eye pierced through the storms of time the terrors of eternity. Many young persons coming to prepare themselves against the season of the Holy Communion were dreadfully affected by his talk. He had a sermon on 1 Peter, the devil as a roaring lion, on the Sunday after every 17th of August, and he was accustomed to surpass himself upon that text both by the appalling nature of the matter and the terror of his bearing in the pulpit. The children were frightened into fits, and the old looked more than usually oracular, and were all the day filled by the water of Dew among some thick trees, with the shore overhanging it on the one side, and on the other many cones and tops rising towards the sky. Had begun at a very early period of Mr. Solis's ministry to be avoided in the dusk hours by all who valued themselves upon their prudence, and good men, sitting on the clank and iron house, shook their heads together at the thought of passing late by that uncanny neighbor. There was one spot to be particular, which was regarded with special awe. A man stood between the high road and the water of Dew, with a gable to each.
As the Lord
its back
sees
was
me,
toward
said
the
she,
crooked town
as the
of
Lord
Bolwary,
made me, not a
nearly
word of
half a mile away.
For by the barren,
in front
said
of
she,
it,
I've
a
been a
bare
peasant
garden,
woman all my
hedged
days.
with thorn, occupied the
But
land
you said,
between the
Mr.
river
Solis, in
and
the name
road.
of God and before me,
The house was
even
2
was the
stories
minister,
high,
renounced
with 2
the
large
devil and his
rooms
works.
in each. It opened not directly
Well,
on the garden,
it would
but
appear
on a
that when he
causewayed
asked that,
path
she
or
gave a grin that
passage,
fairly
given on
frightened
the
them
road
all
on one
that saw
hand
her,
and closed
and
on
they
the
could
other
hear
by
her
the
teeth
tall
play drill
willows
together in her
and
jaws.
elders that bordered
There
on the
was nothing
stream.
for it but the one way or the other. And Janet lifted up her hand and
Women,
renounced the devil,
said he,
before
and
them
he
all.
had a grand voice,
I charge you in the Lord's name to let her go. There were many grey folk alone over their prayers that night. But when the morn came, such a fear fell upon all Bolwary that the barons hid themselves, and even the menfolk stood and peeped through their doors. There were many grey folk
Janet
alone over their
coming through the
prayers
crack
that night.
Here
But when the morn came,
none could tell.
such a fear
With her
fell
neck
upon
thrown
all
and her head
Bolwary
on one side,
that
like
the
a body
barons
that
hid
had
themselves,
been
and even the
and a
menfolk
grin
faced
Janet
like an
peeped
through
through
their
the
doors.
Have you seen a black man
with
through
it,
the crack?
and in spirit
Black
of
man?
her or her
Asked she.
likeness, none could tell.
Save us
With
all.
her neck thrown
You're no
and
wise
her head on
minister.
one side, like
There
a
is no
body
black
that
man in
was
a Bolwary.
and a grin on her
But she
face
didn't
like
speak
an
plain, you must
folk.
understand.
And from that day
But
forward,
Yem yammered like a
and
pony
God
with the
spirit
Nikitan
came never
sword.
out was wrong.
Well, said
From
he,
that day forth, but it
Janet,
couldn't speak like
if there was no black man,
but slavery
then I have spoken with the accuser of the brethren.
the name of Janet McClure. And from that
And
day
he sat
forward,
down like
the
one
name
with
of
a
the
fever,
railway came never
and his
out of
teeth
hell that day.
chattered
Well,
in
she would
his
try to
head.
say it, but it couldn't be. Them that knew best said least.
but they never gave that thing the name of Janet McClure. For the old
Have you seen a black man?
But they are aware of it.
A black man? Asked she. Save us all. You're no wise minister. There is no black man in the Bulware, said he. But she didn't speak plain. Have you seen a black man? A black man yammered like a pony with the bit in its knee. Save us all. You're no wise minister. There is no black man in the Bulware. There was no black man. But she didn't speak plain. Then I have spoken with the accuser of the brethren. But he yammered like a pony, and he sat down like one with a fever. Well, said he, and his teeth chattered in his head. There was no black man. Then I have spoken with the accuser of the brethren.
And he sat down like one with a fever,
At the hinder end,
and his teeth
he got
chattered
clearness in
in
his
his head.
mind, sat up on his sark on the bedside, and fell thinking once more of the black man and Janet. He couldn't well tell
Mr.
how.
Sulis was feared
Maybe it was the
for
call
neither
to his
man
feet,
nor devil.
but it
He
came
got
in
his
upon him
tinderbox
with a spade
and lit a candle,
that there was some
and
connection
made 3
between those
steps
two,
out of his
and that
Janet's door.
either or both of them
It was
were
on the
buggers.
house, and he pushed it
And
open
just at that
and
moment,
tipped
in
wildly
Janet's
in.
room, which was next to
It was
his,
a big room,
there
as
came a
big as
stamp of
Melissa's
feet,
own,
as if
and
men
filled
were
with
wrestling,
round, dull, solid
and
jeans,
then a
for
loud
he had
bang.
nothing else.
And
There
then a
was
wind
a
went
frosted
rushing round the
bed
four
with old
corners of the
tapestry,
house,
and a fine cabinet of oak,
and
which
then
was
almost
full of the
once more,
minister's divinity books,
silent
and put there to be out of the gate,
the grave.
and a few dots of Janet's lying here and there about the floor. But no Janet could Mr. Sulis see, feared, nor any sign, nor deep intention. He got his tinderbox, and lit a candle that would have followed,
Made 3 steps
and looked
out
around
over to Janet's door,
and listened. It was on the hasp, but there was nothing to be
pushed it
heard,
open,
neither inside the manse, nor in all Bulware parish, and nothing to be seen but the muckle shadows turning around the candle. And then, all at once, the minister's heart played dumb and stood stock still, the minister's divinity books, and a cold wind there to be out blew him on the hairs of his head, and a few dots of Janet's lying here and there about that, for the poor man's eyes. But no Janet could Mr. Sulis see, for there was Janet, hanging from a nail beside the old oak cabinet. In he went, her head in a sleeve that sheltered him, her eyes closed, the tongue projected from her mouth, but there was nothing to be heard, neither inside the manse, nor in all Bulware parish, and nothing to be seen but muckle shadows turning around the candle.
And then, all at once, the minister's heart played dumb and stood stock still, and a cold wind blew him on the hairs of his head. What a weary sight was that for the poor man's eyes.
And then his heart
For there was Janet hanging from a nail beside the old oak cabinet. Her head was laying on his
She was
shoulder.
hanging from a single nail.
Her eyes
and by
were
single
closed, the
word
tongue
thread
projected
for
from
damn
her
hope.
mouth, and her
It's an
heels
awful
were
thing to be
clear
alone at
above the
night
floor.
with such prodigies of darkness.
God forgive us all,
Mr. Sulis,
Thrawn and the Lord. Poor Janet's death turned and went his ways out of that room, and locked the door behind him.
he took up the candle again,
down the stairs as heavy as
and as softly as ever
and
he
set
could,
down the
and
candle
straight
on
out
the
of the
table and
manse,
stair.
and to the far end
He
of
couldn't
the
pray.
causeway.
It
By
was
this
all
time,
big
the foot was trembling as the candle at the door.
He set it on the
And
ground.
he could hear a hand
Stared
staring
along
at
the
the
wall,
glares as if the
done,
piercing
and
nothing
was
moved,
feeling for
but
its
the two
way.
he might maybe have
The
sobbed
soul
down
now
lost
made man
and one
together
unholy
minded
footstep
alongside
came
when all of a
his
sudden
stairs
the
inside
flame
the
became
candle
on
on
the
fire
bottom stairs,
and there
for
stood
it
the
was Janet
corpse
of
old
Janet
Janet
with her
she
broken
came really
gown
thin
and
and
black
black
much,
with
with
the
the head
sigh
always
he
going
died
to
alone.
shelter.
He
And the
commanded
going
his
might
steel
well
with
have
him
been
that night and
leaving
kept
him
him
half
silent.
sad.
And
There
all
was
the
death
steps
upon
which
the
the
land,
souls
give me
knew,
strength
and
upon the
seemed
threshold,
war against the
as if
mouths
the
of
corpse was looking over the
It's a
rail.
strange thing
Down
that the
upon
soul of a
him.
man should be that thrilled into his
She
perishable
didn't
body.
stand there alone,
But the minister
by this
saw
time
to move
the
again,
foot was
and
coming
his heart
through the
slowly
passage for the door. He could hear a hand skirting along the wall,
as if the piercing fingers
You're not home.
the souls tossed the man together, alongside James Gordon's body, and with the flame of the candle glowing around the wall, and there stood the corpse, Mr. Jack's voice took lock of dawn for the black money from the sun to head over the soul which came and held still on the itself living have sacred death that which was the souls preached like upon the threshold.
I charge you by the power of God. Be gone.
The end of it.
If you be dead to the grave.
Which
Don't turn around.
devil, he cried. I charge you by the power of God. Be gone. If you be dead to the grave. If you be damned to hell.
Yesterday, upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I wish he'd go away. When I came home last night at 3, the man was waiting there for me. But when I looked around the hall, I couldn't see him there at all. Go away. Go away, don't you come back anymore. Go away. Go away, please don't slam the door. Last night, I saw upon the stair a little man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away.